Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to this special Facebook Live session brought to you by Assunta Hospital. I'm Diana, and I'll be your moderator for today. Before we begin, don't forget to click that share button so more parents out there can benefit from today's informative session on baby vaccination. Today, we are incredibly honored to be joined by the experienced and compassionate Dr. Sau Peng Lui, the Consultant Paediatrician at Assunta Hospital, who will be shedding light on everything you need to know about baby vaccination. From the benefits and common side effects of vaccination to the tips to reduce vaccines injection pain and why they all matter for your baby's health. So to you, Dr. Sau, thank you for being here today.
Hi, everyone. Dear parents, very good afternoon to you. Sorry, slightly delay a little bit. So hopefully you all have your lunch or you all are eating your lunch and then join our session today because it's very important for your children. Okay, do share with your other friends, whatever. Hopefully is that very helpful for you all. So today I'm going to tell you more about what is immunity for your child. Basically, we divide into a natural immunity or vaccination. So from the start means because actually all the baby when they born, right, they need to give vaccines at birth. I think you're quite familiar if you got kids before the BCG and hepatitis B. Okay, so and why is actually very important for your child because actually I will mention is actually it's a lifelong gift for your children. So anyway, I'm Dr. Sau here, a consultant pediatrician in Assunta Hospital. So actually, in conjunction with World Immunization Week, this year from 24th to 30th April is this week actually is throughout. This week is the vaccinations week. So for this year, the topic is immunization for all is humanly possible, which means that the vaccine actually can prevent a lot of vaccine preventable disease. So and it proved to having to cause less disease and more life is possible. So you can see here, one life can be saved every 10 seconds with vaccination itself. So my topic today is going to tell you all more about natural immunity by infections versus vaccinations. What's their pre and cons and all this thing, and what's the vaccine benefits versus their side effects. And I'd like to bring you through National Immunization Program (NIP) in Malaysia, which is a mandatory vaccination that need to be done for all the children. If you are a new parent, you have to deliver the baby, then you might need to gone through that with me so that you have more clear idea. And also there's some optional vaccine which is not mandatory, but I will advise some of the optional vaccine which need to be taken by your baby to give them extra protection. And also tips to reduce the vaccination pain, the injection show a little bit of pain and all these things. I will guide the parents how to deal with that. And last but not least, I'm sure you all have a lot of myths about the vaccination. I will try to debunk from your point of view, or you can ask any question regarding vaccination later. Okay, so we go with natural immunity, which means the infection. So means the baby are getting the natural infection, then they enter their body. The infection mainly they have antigen. They enter the body. Our body actually will create the antibody to fight, with the infection. So, so I would describe it as a real war. You really need to be there. I mean, no, they didn't go through any practice. They just, the virus or the bacteria or this just invade the body, and your kids or ourselves just need to be ready and just need to fight with them. Okay, so it's really a real war without any preparation and all. Okay, and without any practice. So that's why relatively the risk is slightly higher in terms of the complication of the disease, the risk of hospitalizations, and even the risk of death is higher than the vaccination itself. And it's quite infectious though. If let's say one person got it and then it will pass, I'm sure like COVID, influenza and all, one family, one kid got it or one adult got it, then it will spread. if let's say the contact precaution is not being done properly. So it's actually quite infectious to the community, to the family, because it's easily spread. Whereas for the vaccination, I would describe as a practical session because it's not a real disease. It's just that the vaccine is put into the body. It's just a little antigen, which is inactivated and kill and all these things that put inside the body to help to create and to have some antibodies so that when next time when the real infection enter the body, right, the actually the baby or yourself actually can cope and to with the diseases. So the risk is very low, relatively very low, and just a little side effect. Usually it's very minor, temporary. For example, they have a low-grade fever and local swelling. The injection site a bit swollen, a little bit redness. Some even no response. Some of my patients, they are really doing well. So it's just as a response towards the vaccine, usually 2 to 3 days and very minor. And good thing about the vaccination is it's not infectious. It's actually to create herd immunity, which means we are able to, if let's say the vaccination rate, right, is high, especially more than 95% coverage, right, for the whole country. So it actually can protect the vulnerable populations. For example, your small little one, they yet to catch up the vaccinations, on time. And the elderly, some cancer patient and all these things on chemo, their immune system is very, very weak and all these things, and they couldn't get the vaccination. So if we got the vaccination to reduce the risk of the infectious disease, right, actually we are the one can help to protect this vulnerable group. Okay, so what is herd immunity? You can see on your left-hand side, infectious means it's very contagious, it just spreads from one to another, all right? But if, on the other hand, the right-hand side means that if let's say one patient having some infection, the red color person, right, it's contagious, it's spread to the someone immunized. Someone immunized actually has some antibody already. When they're having this infection enter their body, right, at least their antibody are already there to fighting a little bit with them, with the virus. Some even no symptom or very minor symptom, and the infection risk to other patient, someone is susceptible to the vulnerable ones will be less. Okay, they cannot just simply pass to them. So just show you more clear picture is, okay, so the left-hand side is the one that if let's say only few people are vaccinated, you can see a vaccinated one is in the blue color and the person infected is in the yellow color. So you can see the disease spread very, very fast. It's because it's very contagious, and if they are not vaccinated, means some other population is not vaccinated, then they actually cannot protect themselves. If a lot of people are vaccinated in the blue color, you can see one disease patient that carry the germs, which is very infectious. They can't spread very far. They only spread nearby, So you can see the whole community will stay safe. So this is the one that we call herd immunity. So that one is very, very important. That's why our NIP, National Immunization Programs, actually the purpose we give them free, actually can get everything free from KK for the mandatory vaccine to our KKM actually to actually want to help with this herd immunity, which is very important. Okay, so I would say vaccine are one of the greatest achievements in our modern science, okay, besides for all the medical treatments, and it's proven to be safe and effective as a public health point of view. You can see they prevent so many millions, 4 to 5 million of death every year from the disease, the infectious disease from last time until now. For example, the pertussis, the 100-day cough, whooping cough, influenza, measles, all these very, very infectious disease. Okay, and as for your knowledge, smallpox, right, is totally eradicated since 1980 because of the vaccinations. And polio, right, we had two types. One is oral mainly. I think now we changed to injection already into our 6-in-1 vaccine. Polio in some country, for example, India or Pakistan, all this, they still give oral. But you can see it dramatically decreased by more than 99%. Just get to wait for some country to be totally eliminated, like smallpox. Okay? Yeah. So why your children need vaccines? Very obvious. To want to keep them safe, make sure they stay strong. Their immune system will get stronger together with the natural immunity and the vaccination to keep them stronger and give them a healthier and happy life daily so they can keep them stay active and all these things. So they can do whatever they need. And some more now they're going to daycare and sometimes in our urban area, right, they actually going to a center quite early, right? So I think vaccination is really, really important because in between they would like to get not they would like to get they are getting some natural immunity from the infection from daycare, which unable to prevent by the vaccine, but whichever we can prevent then we try to give on time, okay, or other optional vaccine that you can actually provide to your child. Okay, so you can see vaccine actually can reduce 90% of the risk of symptomatic infection, which means, for example, I give you two examples here. One is the chicken pox. The left-hand side, you can see conjunctivitis, the rashes, all this, right? It's measles. Both are very, very infectious. When they come into the hospital, they need to be isolated in a single room and all. Because when you expose to this kind of patient, so the risk is very, very high, even not through the contact, it's actually through the droplets. Both are through droplets. That's why they really need to put into a negative pressure room, in isolation room, is they admitted to the hospital. So, but if let's say, so if the real, you can see, the real disease for both condition is terrible. The symptom, chickenpox can be very itchy, the whole body, and then they can have other complication and all these things like, both can cause brain infection as a complication. They can cause lung infection, So, but if after a jab of the vaccine, right, so actually they can reduce the risk of the symptom. Maybe they can just got a low-grade fever, the rashes also just here and there a little bit, and the risk of complication is much more reduced. Risk of hospitalization, death, and all these things is much more reduced. Okay, as compared with they getting the natural infections, So benefits, you can see here, it's actually save life, reduce the risk of death, reduce the hospitalization, and it's cost effective. If you admitted because of certain disease, you seek doctor outpatient even, you actually also you need to pay for the test, pay for the medication and all. And sometimes even no insurance, you need to pay to the, I mean, if let's say you admitted private, right, it's actually quite costly. GH also, not costly, but it's time consuming as well because you might need to spend a few days, or in the hospital with your kids, and you may miss your job, whatever. Okay, so vaccine actually is to protect your loved one and then for them to have a long, healthy life. Okay, so about the vaccine side effect, basically very mild. As I mentioned, 2 to 3 days, temporary, just low-grade fever most of the time, slightly 37.8, sorry, 37.5 and above, and more than 38.5 as high grade. Sometimes just muscle ache here a little bit, a bit tired than usual, and the injection site, a bit swelling, some redness, a little bit of pain, and some baby can be a bit less feeding, but trust me, this one just wouldn't last long, just a few days. Severe reaction, you can see, is extremely rare. The severe allergic reaction is just 1 in a million. Okay, it's you compare with the real infection that you got from natural infection immunity, right? They have much more complications. For example, the brain or the lung infection, maybe 1 in 1,000 for chickenpox or measles, relatively, as compared with the side effect of the vaccination. So this is some few example of my patient. You can see the left-hand side, injection site, a bit pain, redness, swelling. So some of the parents contacted me and showed me the photo. I just reassure them, just give some paracetamol to reduce the pain, put some ice pack sometime, 10 to 20 minutes over that side, not to massage the area. Most of the time, I think 100% of my patient, after a few days, they gone already, they didn't come and look for me. Okay, we hardly need, sometimes we just kept the needle, right, gone through the injection site, got infection or what. Actually, it's just the local response due to the vaccination, is not due to infection, okay? And you can see the right-hand side is the BCG. BCG is always inject over the left side or the arm here that we call the deltoid area. So after 1 month, about 1 month to 2 month old baby will have will actually swell up, and they will actually rupture by themselves to have a little pus. So this is very, very common because later they need to have scar, okay, for us to have a look, to see whether there's a scar there, all right, to prove that BCG are given. So the pus will rupture. You just normal wear some short sleeve like the patient, just clean with some normal saline, make it dry, pat dry will do. No need to cover up. Okay, and it will slowly after a few days to a week, right? It will slowly heal. Unless the baby got high fever, really, really swollen, the child is very uncomfortable, or there's some lymph nodes over this armpit area, very swollen. Anything you do, go back to your pediatrician and ask about that. But if not, in general, they actually heal very well. Okay, this is the schedule that I done for just to summarize. For your left hand side is the NIP, our mandatory vaccination. You can see from the birth, BCG need to be given plus the first dose of hepatitis B is the standard. That's why I say immunity from the start mean the child from the at birth already need to give the vaccination, and then subsequently you can see almost every month the baby needs to get the mandatory vaccination. About the earliest is 6 weeks to 2 months. So KK, they're just following months. Sometimes in private, we will do early about 6 week old. You can see after the BCG Hep B, 6-in-1 vaccination is a must. Okay, the number one is 6-in-1. Why is 6-in-1? You can see down here. I will explain further what is each vaccine function and all, what's the prevention of the disease in the detail in a while. You can see the primary doses is 2 months, 3 months, 5 months. After that, we need to give a booster about 18 months. So basically, it's first 18 months is the crucial timing that you need to on time to go to KK or go to any pediatricians, to catch up the vaccinations, okay? And the other second important is pneumococcal vaccine. You need to be give about 4 months, 6 months, and booster about 15 months. And MMR, mumps, measles, and rubella, 9 months and 12 months. All right. So below is about 7 years, 13 and 15. That one, school will start to give. But since few years back, MR actually a 2022 MRs, the measles and rubella no longer needed because earlier on MR are given about 12 months, one dose only. So but because of the outbreak at certain country, like example like Sabah, so we bring early like 9 months and 12 months. So see now the standard one no longer give the MR already. They only give the DT. Okay, DT is the diphtheria and tetanus, and then 13 years old you can see is HPV for girl, and 15 years old just need to give the tetanus. So all this is given as free at KK, and then 7 to 15 years old is in the school. So that's why sometimes when your girl enter school, right, they will need you to sign the consent for vaccination, because KM will send someone to check for them. Okay, but some also did in private. Some international school also do come over to see us to catch up. Okay, on your right hand side is the optional vaccine. We got this few, the 7th vaccine, which is available in a private clinic or even in Assunta Hospital and all. So the most important I will emphasize is rotavirus, influenza, and chickenpox. All right, but others also relatively important, but it's optional. So see whether you all want to catch up, then you can give everything here. Okay, so the timing, you can see the timing is the timing to guide you when your baby actually should get the vaccination about that timing. So you need to double confirm with your pediatrician, so they will arrange for you based on the age of injection. Then we need to get the dose and everything. All right. So need to bring you to what is NIP. What is the vaccine under NIP? Our NIP programs. First is the BCG. BCG is to prevent TB. I'm sure you all heard about occurring before, right? So it's a very dangerous and infectious disease. So it mainly involve the lung, but they can involve other organ as well. So if let's say got prolonged cough, prolonged fever, we might need to rule out this TB condition. Okay. So hepatitis B, as to prevent the hepatitis B infection, because it can cause chronic liver disease and lead to liver cancers. So the 6-in-1, is to prevent diphtheria, tetanus, pertussis. Pertussis is a 100-day cough, okay, whooping cough, polio, hips, and hepatitis B. Hepatitis B last time, they actually put 0 at birth, right, and 1 month old and 6 months old. But now because too many vaccinations, so we put into the 5-in-1 already Jadi 6-in-1 vaccine, so the baby can get less vaccination injection, mean they can skip the 1 month old. If not, the last time few years back, they give 5-in-1, the baby still need to go back at KK about 1 month to get the second dose, the Hep B. Now they put already inside the 6-in-1 vaccine. All right. Pneumococcal, you can see 2020, our KK actually introduced this into our program because it is one of the most important vaccine. Before that, everyone actually get from private. Some parents, they have awareness and all these things because it actually can prevent a serious lung and brain infection. Yeah, sometimes they can cause the ear infection and all these things, and there's quite a lot of complication. But since 2020, for the past 5 years, we can see relatively in GH. I was from GH before anyway, so I joined Assunta since 2022. And we can see the complication by the pneumococcal disease, right, is markedly reduced, and we hardly see any obvious case. Last time when I practiced in GH, right, you can see the lung having, abscess and all these things. We need to drain and all. Is actually very terrible for the kids, need extra treatment, just not use the antibiotic, we need to, poke the lung, here, the cavity, the drains, the pus, whatever. Okay, but till now, you can see the past 5 years because of herd immunity, because we give to all the kids, right, from the beginning. The first dose is actually about 6 weeks to 2 months old. Then actually we can see it's markedly reduced the case of pneumococcal and the complication of the disease. So for the past 5 years, we are giving all this to our kids. Okay. Regarding the pneumococcal just now, last time KKM are giving 10 strain. We got few brand actually in the market. But recently KKM are changed to since last year, changed to 13 strain. And then in private, actually we got more advanced. We have 15 strains, KKM are using 15 strain right now for your information. But in private, we have 13 strain and we have 15 strain. Strain means if let's say more strain, that means more coverage. 2 extra strain, let's say for 15, right? Compared with 13, they have 2 more extra strain coverage. And also one of the benefit of for the 15 strain is they can cover invasive disease more, so it will be better, but only available in private setting. If you're keen to check, then you can come over to inquiry about that. Which is not available at KK. KK, they still at least better than last time. Last time 10 strain, now is they are giving 13 strain. Okay, if you are interested to scan my booklet for the child vaccination, you actually can scan here and download, so you can know the schedule. If not, actually you can follow the baby pink book and blue book for the vaccination. They actually list out. Some is updated already, some may not. And then if let's say you deliver in private hospital, they have their own what we call the list for you as a reference, but hopefully they're up to date already. Okay. All right. The other okay, the other vaccine, right, compulsory is MMR. MMR need to be given about first dose 9 months and 12 months to prevent mumps, measles, and rubella. And as mentioned, measles is very infectious. And the other one is HPV, human papilloma virus. This is to be given to a girl, 13 years old in the school, but actually can give as early as 9 years old in private. As long as less than 15 years old, right, need to be just need to give 2 doses. But after 15 years old, you might need to give 3 doses. Okay, this is basically to prevent the cervical cancer, some genital warts over the private area, and even ear, nose, and the throat cancer for boy. Boy actually can check though. It's just not girl, but we mainly want to protect girls. So KKM, the MOH are giving free to a girl only at 13 years old. But they only give 1 dose. So if you want to catch up a second dose will be better. So then you can always come and catch up at privates. Okay, we got different brands. Okay, so I already discussed all about compulsory vaccination, which you can get free at KK, and then sometimes you can get at private as well. Okay, so optional vaccine I also think relatively important is I mentioned that three, rota, influenza, and chickenpox. So rotavirus is one of the only one I would say drinkable vaccine. Okay, it's the drops. We are the one who need to give. Okay, the other is all injection. Okay, so it's basically what is rotavirus? Rotavirus actually they can cause stomach flu, quite serious sometimes because they can cause serious diarrhea, vomiting, fever, and then lead them to dehydration, especially they have a poor appetite and don't want to drink. Okay, some of the baby just need to get admitted. And rotavirus as early as 6 week old we can give already, but the first dose remember always less than 4 month old. If not, then you miss the boat already. Some of the parents come back and then they say one, then you already miss the boat because we need to give early. The reason behind because 6 month old the child they start to be calling here and not calling, sorry, touching here and there. Then they put everything in the mouth. The mouthing is their normal development. So lah, then they will catch all these virus. But they won't. You're 24 hours there to look for them, right? Where clean their hand. Sometimes or through contaminated food because they started some complementary feeding about 6 months. So all this increase their risk. So we need to settle that before 6 months is possible, and give them drink this vaccine so it can prevent them to get a serious complication, for example, dehydration due to this virus. Okay. Influenza, I think you're quite familiar about that. Influenza outbreak last year throughout the year, got A lah, got B lah, and all. Basically, these two are in our community throughout the year. We've been picking up, So yeah, this one spike, So until we got no stock, and thank God, the new stock we just received this one 2 weeks ago, and it's the latest strain, southern strains. Include two strains of type A, two strains of type B. So if you're interested, I think we got stock already. You can adult actually our health screening. You can come over to our health screening to get vaccinated. If less than 16 years old, you can bring your kid to see a pediatrician, okay, to get the flu jab. It's very important because it's quite common and easily spread. They will have high fever, they will have headache, muscle ache. They really can be very lethargic, and some patients even admitted because too high fever already, they cannot cope. So, and some also will have some complication, especially if you have asthma, some they trigger the asthma attack. They even can cause pneumonia, lung infection, brain infection, and all these things. Okay, so yeah. So the other optional vaccine will be the meningococcal. Is actually one of the bacteria can go to the brain and cause brain infection. Brain is very important. So if we have this infection, they will cause a serious complication and all these things. So chickenpox, you can see chickenpox also, as I mentioned, is very infectious. They also high risk for complication for same as a measles. So the risk of brain infection, lung infection, and last but not least, the shingles. So they will have they actually chickenpox, right? Once they enter our body, they have the symptom like itchiness, high fever, and the rashes. After that, they will hide into our nerve, right? To later somehow, some point later in the life when your immune system low, when you're having stress, not enough sleep, let's say you are elderly, you got diabetes, everything, when you're aging, right? So this virus actually hide in your nerve root. They will just appear again and become shingle. Shingle, trust me, you wouldn't want this condition because if let's say nearby the eye, ear, all this, right, they can cause blindness and hearing impairments, and it's really painful. And sometimes over the body, you remember some over the belly button, the body area is very painful because they actually along your nerve area to cause all this kind of pain. And really suffering. But I think thank God the shingle is available now the vaccine, sorry, is available in our country already. So, but it's only for elderly. Okay. So, our hospital also got, if you're interested, you can ask about from the health screening. And JE, okay, Japanese encephalitis, one of the optional. To prevent, it's a virus, it's called by virus. It's compulsory in actually Sarawak. 9-month-old, they are giving a first dose. After 1 year, they give a second booster because there still is a bit endemic, still got case, sometimes outbreak there. So it also can cause a serious brain complication like brain infection, it cause the brain damage. Okay, so Hep A. Hepatitis A also can cause infection to the liver. They go to the liver and affect, and then after that they can cause a yellow discoloration, a jaundice, and everything. It's mainly through the oral, like contaminated food, or the water. When you eat outside, especially you makan the kerang and all these things, the raw seafoods. Okay, typhoid is a bacteria can cause food poisoning. So this one also same. If you salah makan outside, like sometimes you bring your child makan outside already, right? So sometimes actually all the food processor or the hawker they should jab this one 2 to 3 years. Because they're high risk group, they will bring this bacteria to us. But if imagine they didn't jab, right? So we will pose the risk. And this one also is compulsory in India. India also most of the time they will have outbreak. So when you travel to India and all these things, better you need to get the typhoid. Okay. So because this one can cause fever, can cause bloody diarrhea, vomiting, and all this. Okay. Something new for kids. Optional vaccines. Dengue. This number 8 vaccine, which is available for kids, already available in Assunta. So but only for more than 4 years old. Okay. Dengue actually is endemic throughout the year. We can hear the case, especially the raining season and all. So then if you meet this Aedes, this mosquito with the palang one, especially 5 to 7 evening, right? You don't bring your child out. So they kena bite, the risk is there. Then you can see some they do fogging here and there, right? So KL is one of the endemic area anyway. So, but thank God now we got the vaccination. After 4 years old, you can jab 2 doses, 3 months apart. All right. So if you are interested, you all can ask your pediatrician, or even adult actually can jab. All right. Just need to bring you all through. Actually, baby need a lot of vaccine now, but in between you can see the star, the optional vaccine. If you want, you can in between of the mandatory vaccination. So our new baby vaccination package just launched last week. So just for your knowledge, the routine is there's 2 packages, which mean the 6-in-1 MMR and the pneumococcal. You can see we are giving the 15 strain here. We got package. If you are interested, you can come over or call the number below to inquiry about this. And additional, which I strongly encourage. That's why we also came up with a package that hopefully parents can consider. Can to give your child the rota, influenza, and chickenpox, which not compulsory by KKM, but from our point of view as a pediatrician, I think is we are dealing this every week. We can see these 3 patient, these 3 type of patient come in sometime. So and they can just stay for a few days, or what the child having a ill condition and all. So we do encourage you all to take this additional optional vaccine if possible. Okay. Okay, so pregnant women, okay, some pregnant women actually they actually not aware. Actually, they can get the vaccine. Okay, anyway, I'm pregnant now as well. So flu vaccine I have done already. I done every year. I do for my kids yearly. Because I'm high risk, I always can carry the bugs, right? So I need to protect my child. I give them every year. I give them other extra optional vaccine. So flu vaccine, not to worry. You can give any trimester, okay? And then this can protect your baby from flu. And the first jab for the newborn, it's actually the first flu jab is 6 months and above. So the 6 month actually there's no protection for them if you didn't jab. You imagine you jab the flu jab, you got antibody, you pass through the umbilical cord through the baby, your baby at least has some protection. All right, especially if you are still breastfeeding, your baby will be more better. All right. The other one is Tdap. Okay, tetanus, diphtheria, and pertussis. Mainly, we want to protect the pertussis for the baby. Pertussis mean is a whooping cough, 100-day cough. Actually, in adults, sometimes you're just coughing, you don't know, you thought it's the common cold. Actually, you are having the pertussis, but you pass to the baby can be very, very ill. The baby can have facial congestion, have a prolonged cough, persistent cough, and all these things. And sometimes they can cause them stop breathing and blue. The breathing got problem because we do see that. We do see that last time when I was in GH, you won't want this thing to be happen to your baby, honestly. And the first 6-in-1, this is under the 6-in-1 for the baby. Because this is 3 only for adult, for a pregnant women, you just need to jab 3. The 6-in-1 actually including this inside plus the other 3 lah. So baby is in private, you only can jab at 6 weeks, but in KK they only schedule it at 2 months. So 2 months there's no protection for your baby. So if you're pregnant, you better in the 3rd trimester, 27 to 36 weeks, better give yourself a jab. Okay, KKM actually MOH plan to implement into a KKS3, but I heard the news since last year August. I think some KK, not sure, budget issue, still have the vaccination as free for the pregnant lady. So do share with your whatever your friend, your loved one, your family member, that tell the pregnant women to go and check this PTAP in the privates. Okay, your obstetrician should advise you all, because once you get the jab, right, at least you jab 2 weeks before your delivery. Okay, so you jab about this timing, it actually after 2 weeks, right, your antibody will pass to your baby, through the placenta, the umbilical cord. So it will at least help to protect your baby for the first 2 months of life, because it can cause a serious life-threatening complications. Okay, so the other one is COVID vaccine. Last time, yes, we can jab at this age, but now we lesser already. We hardly jab already. But these two is very important. Okay, so for your information, income tax relief, income tax need to submitted soon, right? So all this vaccine is actually claimable, but maximum is just restricted to 1K per claim. But at least if you take up the extra vaccine for your kids or yourself, you actually can submit the bill to claim the income tax. Okay, so going to how to reduce the vaccination injection pain for your child. We divide into before the shoot, what you do at home, and then during the clinic we see just before shooting, right, what we can do, and then right after, during the jab, and right after that. So let us start before the shot at home. So some bigger, even small kids, you actually can tell them, okay, tomorrow we are going to see Dr. Sau for vaccination and all these things. So just to prime them a little bit. Some they will say no lah, but just at least we give a bit of priming. And then try not to use very harsh word like pain lah, shot lah, and all. Just tell them, just a little bit small pull and all. Okay, and just a little bit small pinch, and then they will go away very fast. And try not to tell them a scary story lah. Common is, if you didn't go, then nanti ask police to tangkap you lah, and all whatever lah. So try not to give them a treat lah. So to make them more scared about the vaccination, actually just tell them vaccine can actually keep them always safe and healthy, so they won't get more disease and more poke and all these things. All right, and then you can stand by some their favorites, toy, blanket, the busu and all these things, right? Because it's their comfort thing, right? Or whatever bowl, whatever the favorite thing lah. So just bring over, just prepare the night before, then the next day you won't kalang kabut lah when you bring. Okay? After that, so throughout the shot in the clinic, so both parents and doctor actually need to play a role on that. So sometimes I will ask fully breastfeeding mommy, just right before, you can actually them suck first, because sucking is always a soothing process. So just right before, when I prepare the jab, right, I ask them to actually just breastfeeding, and then after that you can jab them during when you're going to put inside your shot, right, they will just continue provided the mommy are okay with that, and then right after that also give them soothe. They can recover very fast, and then they will forget about the pain. Okay, so if the baby are not on breastfeeding, you can just ask them to prepare the bottle to dilute the milk, siap and all these things. Then you can feed them also same right before, during, or after the jab. And some even use pacifier as well. Okay, some will give some sugar, water, whatever. Okay, And then as a parents, we need to stay calm and cool, okay? Not to be so anxious. Just speak with the baby with a normal voice and all these things. If you are anxious, right, your baby can feel it. And they will also tense. The muscle tense, so when we inject, so they will be more painful. Okay? So yeah, so if you are nervous, yourself, you take a deep breath. You just talk to the doctor, I'm not ready yet. You just hold on. Yeah, I'm okay. Sometimes we just let the parents or suit the baby everything first. They are ready, then we check together. So parents also play an important role. Some parents, if let's say mommy hold, then I will give a rectors, whatever to distract. The kids actually like to you sing to them yourself. You use the rector to distract them. Then when I check, they actually can reduce their the anxiousness and the pain and all these things. So a bigger child, you can distract with video, music, whatever, okay? And then so as I mentioned, you just hug them, but not too tight. Don't let them feel that you're actually anxious. And then right after the jab, you actually can praise them and reward them something, their favorite thing, and then praise them that they're so brave, they're so strong and all these things, okay? All right, this is some strategy lah. You can sing to them. You can bigger child, they will just hear the earphone and they use the gadgets and all, and then bring their book, their toy. Some even I will give bubble, for them to blow. Then they'll forget about it. Okay. So try not to use all these very high-fi anxiety word to make them hurt, pain lah, short lah, and all these things. Okay, try not to too reassuring as well lah. It will be okay lah, or over soon, very fast. Uh, yeah. So because it's definitely we need to admit that it's a pain, but just tell them it's just a small little poke, like mosquito bite. Some parents will describe as such. Okay. All right. So after the shot, last just as I mentioned, they have a little bit of side effect. So trust me, they will go away for a few days. If let's say still persistent, especially high fever or something new symptom, they may have concomitant infection, just that during your injections, they may not manifest it. So always discuss with your pediatrician, okay? But if the mild reaction, you just use these few tips to reduce the side effect. So as I mentioned, use the ice pack 10 to 20 minutes over the injection site, not massage. So fever, if you can give paracetamol, you can give cold fever, you can use lukewarm water to do a tepid sponging. Remember not to use the cold water that can be very uneasy. You just use the lukewarm water to sponge them. And then if the baby breastfeeding, you just give small frequent feeding to maintain their hydration. If they are bigger child, you can give some water. And if they're less feeding, you just give small and feeding, small and frequent feeding will do. Usually after 1, 2 days, the appetite will back to normal. Yeah. Okay. But anything that you're concerned, always let your pediatrician know. Okay, so during injection, usually what as a pediatrician do to reduce the pain is we will try to clean that injection site with the alcohol to make sure it's sterile, it's clean. After that, I will have in my clinic we have a cooling spray lah. So they sometimes they put some numbing cream and all these things. So, but of course that one is just I mean, when the needle enter and the vaccine enter into the muscle or whatever, they actually will have a little bit pain. It's quite normal, okay? Some first few months, some baby will cry until very red. It's very, very normal, so not to panic. And then, so myself is I usually after the jab, no need to withdraw now, no need to tarik already. Aspirated, I mean that vaccine up, no need already because they hardly got any vessel there. You usually we will jab over the thigh or this area, okay, the arm area. So you do a quick one, then fast, then we compress that. That's all. And if let's say sometime you do 2 injection, you can do maximum 2 jab a day. If the parents are okay, if the parents are not okay, we just do one by one. But let's say do 2 jab together, I will give the painful vaccine on the last. For example, MMR, pneumococcal can be more painful than others vaccine. Okay. So now I'm going to tell you all about some myth about vaccination. I'm sure you heard about autism, some vaccination, for example, MMR. One of the Dr. Andrew actually a very, very small study. Actually, this one, he I think he did about 2,000 of a study sample mentioned about that's related to autism, but actually it's not true though. So this is actually he being paid by the anti-vaxxer company to create this thing. And subsequently, right, there's a lot of study, more than 40 study, and two big study. One is from the Germany, one is from the CDC, right? They do more than 10,000 and 1 million of the cases sample study. Bigger study is totally not related. There's no association between MMR vaccine with autism. Okay, so and his medical license actually being direct already lah. So it's totally not true. And then some parents are worried about too many vaccine lah. It will overwhelm my baby immune system. But actually vaccine, right, you can see the most is a 6-in-1 into one jab. So they actually will help to create the antibody. And as I mentioned, it's not a true virus or bacteria into the body that cause them a real disease. It's actually just a practice for them to create the antibody. So actually every day, right? Because we are working, let's say carrier, caretaker, all this, right? We actually carry germ. So actually baby are dealing with so many germs more than the vaccines in their environment, because they are also multiple caretakers, sometimes sent to daycare, nursery, taken care by different caretaker, right? They actually facing more antigen than the vaccine antigen every day daily, and they able to cope it well. Okay, so it's not how to say that, it's not too many, because you can see almost every month, but okay lah, every month just once only, right? So for actually to protect them, and then some they were worried about unsafe and harmful toxin. Actually, all this vaccination, they have been doing quite a very extent clinical trial and study, right? Sometimes more than 10 or 15 years to make sure it's actually safe. They monitor the side effect, whatever, okay? So before it launch. And then they also worry about the harmful toxin lah inside, for example lah, formaldehyde lah, aluminum and all these things. But actually all this is very, very trace and small amount that need to be put inside the vaccine for them to be more stable. And I think for the last few months, also one of my relative, my uncle asked me lah, because they actually share through the social media, because flu, right, very overwhelming outbreak of flu throughout the world, right? You heard the Taiwan case and the US and all outbreak. Then until the flu jab, actually no stock. Okay, no stock. And then we have the new social media, and then my uncle even sent me lah, there's inside got toxin lah, whatever. Then I told him actually it's not true. I think not sure because no stock. And then someone just want to mention lah, here got the flu jab got all this toxin that so that others can whichever can get the vaccine by themselves. I'm not sure. But all this, right, is social media is good for certain things, for certain information, all these things, if you receive a correct information. But if the wrong information actually can make it worse. So I think you really need to get the correct and the reliable resources, I would think. So if you really want to know further about vaccination or all these things, always look for these three websites. It's very reliable, the WHO, CDC, and AAP. Okay, or you always can talk to your pediatrician, okay, the vaccine and all these things, the side effect and all. Don't talk to someone is not reliable, and don't share whatever information is not reliable to your family, or your loved one, because you actually want them to get the better thing, right, instead of a wrong information. Okay, so almost last, my take-home message is, try to timely on schedule to get your child vaccinated, especially the NIP, so you can give them protections, okay, earlier, and then to build them a healthier and happy life in their future. Okay, so I will say that vaccine is just like a seatbelt, or like a car seat. They be put into the car seat, belt them a little bit discomfort. They will right there, right? They really don't want so, but actually is for a major protection for them. It's, let's say, touch wood, accident happen, right? Actually, they really can protect them. So I would just mention, vaccination is as such So natural defenses through the natural infection immunity plus the vaccination is a good, investment and lifelong protection for your kids, and also a gift of life for your kids by yourself. Okay, if you keep them vaccinated on time and get whichever extra vaccine that you think is necessary. Okay. So anyway, yeah, I'm Dr. Sau here. If you're interested, then I in Specialist Suite A, room 38. IG is mainly for my information. I got some information in English version. Facebook is mainly in Mandarin version lah. This is my contact number lah. If you want to schedule an appointment or simple question, so you can contact me through here. Okay. Anyway, thank you for joining me during this lunchtime. And yeah, hopefully, and thank you for, joining this session. I think it's very important to get the correct information, and do share with your a friend later if let's say to tell them more regarding this. Okay. So I believe that you want your loved one to being protected. So it's really a lifelong gift, okay, to your kids, yourself, even adults. Some vaccination also need to be done. Okay. I will encourage you all to take a influenza jab yearly if possible. Okay. So any question you all can actually ask me.
Okay, thank you so much, Dr. Sau, for that valuable sharing. So we've compiled a few questions, some from Facebook Live, from Facebook. The first question is from Arfan. He's asked how to ensure that the child body is prepared and safe to receive the vaccine.
Okay, your baby are always prepared. Okay. You can see first day BCG need to be given already, and then some parent will ask lah, will my baby have fever? But actually their immune system still not too well developed yet, but they yet to develop, through the natural infection, as I mentioned, and vaccination. So the first, I would say BCG happy. Totally, I didn't see any vaccine side effect, which is jab, then they will just go back and then they got nothing because the immune system still a bit immature. But the first vaccination that can be done in private is as early as 6 weeks old. KK, they will do about 2 months old. I always tell the parents that they are ready already. The vaccination actually can be given at this age, as early as this age, and then follow the schedule. And then I will tell them what to do during when they're having side effect. But if the patient having high fever or really unwell or an antibiotic treatment or whatever, maybe that's a contraindication that we would give. Okay, but if the patient even having some low-grade fever, common cold, provided the parents are okay, because infection, the child can be a bit uneasy and all. Plus the vaccination also got a little bit of side effect, right? As I mentioned, the low grade fever and all these things, 2-3 days, they also left feeding. So if you are not comfortable with that, always discuss with your pediatrician, see whether you want to go ahead or not. But most of my parents, they are okay to go ahead if they can juggle lah. But if they think I don't want lah, I want my child to be better, after a week when they out of the illness, you can check already. So your babies are always ready, trust me, they're amazing. Okay, and then yeah, so I would say so, yes, unless the other thing that you need to be careful, any vaccination side effect, always let your what we call your pediatrician know. Let's say after this jab, then trial, let's say because this jab got some serious side effect of the vaccination, then do discuss with your pediatrician and see how should go about that. So remember, some MMR and influenza got some egg content inside. So I will always ask the parent to challenge the egg, eat some egg first. For the baby, well, baby 6 months can start some complementary feeding. So influenza less egg content, but MMR you need to really try to challenge them, see whether got any egg allergic. Is the mild egg allergic? Honestly, you still can proceed with the jab for MMR at 9-month-old. So unless very, very bad side effect until you need water, need medication to bring down the severe allergic reaction causing shock and all this, then it's a strongly contraindicated. If not, because we know the what we call is a little bit content only, and the benefits outweigh the risk. And then I would just always ask the mommy, the parents, to just stay half an hour to 1 hour, a while to see any reaction, or just do monitor the next couple of days. So most of the time they're okay. Yeah. Any question?
You. There's another question from Mike. So he said that Dr. Sau, I've met some parents who say they're not against vaccines, but they prefer to delay them or only choose certain ones. From your experience, why do some parents feel the need to do this instead of following the full vaccination schedule? How do you usually approach these kinds of conversations with them? And do you think this hesitation comes from anti-vaccine beliefs or a lack of trust in the vaccines themselves?
Yeah, very good question though. For the first part of that, I still think I still need to throw back to the parent why they have this mind of my I'm sure got some experience, either from someone, some anti-vaxxer influence them and all these things. But usually if anti-vaxxer, right, they will totally reject all from birth. They wouldn't choose one and one. I don't this one in my practice I hardly see that lah. It's a bit weird that you choose this and not this and all. So very, very, very seldom, but I think it's their mindset. Either maybe they have bad experience, for example, MMR, they heard about autism, they don't want, they got family history or what. I'm not sure. But then that's why they say, I don't want MMR. I just want this. Maybe that's a possibility. But so far in my practice, I hardly experienced that. So I think the environment, the friend, the social part is very, play an important role. That's why I say we need to give them a good resources, where's the information they should get from. It's not from the friends though, especially not the medical field. I also scared the medical field will give a wrong information, hopefully not. So always, any doubts, anything, just discuss with the pediatrician. Definitely I got some patient but very rare. So in private, because GH they will go back to KK, so I got no how to say not sure some of the parent also got anti-vaxxer one. Actually, some patient admitted to me last time in GH also. I also do ask them lah and all these things. They got different kind of reason, but here in private for the past 3 year plus, only I think one or two lah. They really don't want. They got their belief and all these things. So, but what we can do as a practitioner, as a pediatrician, we have a role to tell them. But unfortunately, we do not have a laws, to make sure they actually check for their kids lah, because they have the right. Okay, so we only can, tell them what is the benefit, what is the important, and what is the side effect, and everything, and just ask them whatever that they concern. You can actually just address their concern now, because different parents have different concern though. Yeah, so if not, then they come back for follow-up, whatever, just share with them again. But always open the door for them, say that it's okay, I think you need time to digest and what. Yeah, we can always talk next time, like in a month or two. I will just give you appointment, then you do come back, maybe check out the baby weight, there's some development, then we can always discuss it. I mean, again, even let's say at birth they reject. So yeah, not to chase them out. Like I say, you are always welcome back. I will just say the same thing. You will just welcome back anytime when you are ready, or you still got any question that we didn't address by today, can always come back and ask me. So yeah, but I think different parents got different concept. I think it's experience sometimes, about previous baby and previous relative, friend, whatever, or they from their social media, not the reliable one. Okay? Yeah. Anything else?
Okay, one last question from Ishva. Hi, doc. My wife breastfeed my baby. Do I vaccinate my baby on schedule?
Breastfeed okay no contraindication. Breastfeeding, you got your antibody to pass to the baby when you're breastfeeding. Tapi kan, it's not all is being protected. You still need to vaccinate the baby on time. You cannot delay. Even bottle feed or whatever, there's not related at all. Okay? And the vaccine cause autism, no lah. As I mentioned, it's totally being rejected already, that the study is actually got some the issue with the anti-vaxxers being sponsored to the doctor to do the study. That's why it's yeah, it's not a true real study. Subsequently, after that, so many studies have been done that's not related at all. The autism not related to the vaccine. Yeah. Any other question?
I guess I think there's no more questions from the floor.
Yeah.
So, okay, thank you so much, Dr. Sao, for your time and expertise. And thank you also to everyone who joined us today. Don't forget to share this live session with your friends and family. And if you have any more questions or would like to make an appointment with Dr. Sao, feel free to reach out to Assunta Hospital or visit our website, www.assunta.com.my. I think that's all for today. So stay safe, everyone. Thank
Yeah.
you. Thank you,
Thank
Dr. Sao.
you. Thanks. Yeah.